Oh, no intro? Okay.
No.
Just take it. He'll probably cut it down. So take it away whenever you're ready.
Alright, so you've entered the city. You've seen the pillars. They're not particularly inviting looking, being that they are light-absorbing black with all kinds of strange, archaic runes all over them. But they're there. They seem to be protecting the city. Seems to be pretty tough to get in, so that it is what it is.
Great.
Where do you want to head, by the way? We know that...
Yeah, we just got in. Never really discussed where we were going.
Yeah.
Well, I know where I'm going.
Well, yeah.
You, what was the noble's name? The nobleman who you...
Sir Roderick?
Oh, Sir Roderick.
Sir Roderick, yeah. They were looking to hook him up with a whole laboratory, right?
Yeah, so Sir Roderick was going to...
I think that's a little bit...
That's a little in the future.
Well, that's also, I think we touched on, hey, I wanted...
Oh, he was just talking big,
I wanted space.
Oh,
I wanted a
yeah.
space
No,
where I
my
have
dad can
access.
totally do that.
Yeah, you gotta talk to Dad. That's the big thing.
To be fair, there's like homeless people homes that we could utilize because they're not there anymore.
Yeah,
You don't think that's being rehabbed into a park
But
or
it's
something?
only been. It hasn't been that long though. There's got to be some stuff still standing.
You just see 'cause
Yeah,
it's wizards with hard hats just blowing up buildings. Yeah, that's where it's gonna go.
I mean, you would be squatting, technically.
Finally, a place to put my car.
But you could, in fact, use some of the spare housing.
I guess we'll need to earn some money at some point.
So I think the first thing we should do is go to the local, bar, right?
Oh yeah, the inn definitely.
We need to go.
Figure out that's the bearings, right? That's where we're gonna get get our bearings.
Well, I'll accompany you there, but then I'm gonna go check in at the college and see if I can get a dorm room.
I mean, you could live off campus with the cool kids, but that's all right. I see you want to be.
Might be part of the tuition. I don't know.
You need to be immersed.
I didn't set it up.
All right. So while they're trying to decide where they're gonna head into town, Alicant, you've already been to the Hunters Guild.
Yeah.
And when you first arrive, all these people know you. That's the reason why the runner was so quick to come get you. It's not that they forgot about you, but they, weren't expecting you to show up. If they were expecting you, they would have had somebody waiting for you. But so yeah, you get there, people that you know, people that you see outside of the walls of the city, out when they're hunting or gathering or anything of those sorts of nature.
Gathering.
Yeah, gathering. They're hunter-gatherers. It's the Hunters Guild and the Gatherers Guild. They're connected.
But there's not farms. Who just gathers anymore?
They gather herbs and things like that.
Okay, all right. That makes sense.
So, you meet up with plenty of people that you know. Who is exactly that you're looking for?
Just whoever is in charge of the Hunters Guild. So I was gonna go in there and just hey, who's in charge these days? To the cash register person.
The cash register person.
Here's 2 pelts for you. That'll be $5.
So,
I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
there is a front area.
So funny to have money and a way to keep track of it.
No counter.
So
Wow. Maybe you can feel like a real asshole.
when you walk in through the front, there is off to the side. It's like a sort of a registrar area. The Hunters Guild is set up in a way that basically you have to prove your skill to be able to even enter, right? So, the beginning area is separated from farther back where there's a bar and there's seating area and all this other stuff. But the beginning area, you have to go to the registrar, unless they know who you are. They know who you are, but you know that you can find out information from them. So you walk over, you ask, because as a matter of fact, it changes regularly. Who's in charge? Whoever can bring back proof of the most dangerous hunt or the most intriguing beast is in charge. They're it's a rotating system of who can be the biggest badass of the moment.
Is there some Gaston guy sitting on a throne made out of mammoth tusks and stuff?
No. At the moment, they let you know that the person who's in charge is actually a newcomer. It's someone that nobody's ever heard of before. Obviously, their name's really big right now, but they showed up, entered the hall, asked about how the system worked, found out that it was, who can bring down the baddest beast, left, and came back with what they described to you is a creature that looks to be chitinous, but is very soft in reality, and is filled with some sort of like liquid that can be used for burning. Shut your mouth.
Try not to make you look bad on camera.
I like to say chitinous because chitin sounds dumb.
Well, chitinous does sound very like onomatopoetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's like a bug sound.
Ah, you're so right.
Hate
Yeah.
chitin. It's such a
And
dumb
that
word.
sounds
Sorry,
really
sorry.
anti-Semitic.
Thank you.
You cheap chitin!
Well-
Ripping me off.
Whoa.
What?
You guys want to get sponsored?
Yeah.
So
Labels
yeah,
out, though. Labels out.
describes
By the third, right?
describes this creature, and so this person has it wasn't the most impressive thing that they've ever seen. People have brought down drakes. People have brought down large sea creatures, but the thing that this person brought to the table was the fact that once rendered down, the liquid-filled sacks inside the beast could be arrows could be coated in it, and then you could strike, have a fire arrow, but other than that, it didn't pose any sort of danger. It wasn't corrosive or anything like some of the other materials they used to use for fire arrows, and so they're just kind of providing people with this extra option. So they're kind of like sitting pretty right now at the top of the pecking order.
Pecking order.
So they tell you that the name of this individual is Katrina.
Okay.
Katrina.
My mom's name in real life. That's kind of funny.
Sorry. Katrina Whaley. And so Katrina Whaley seems to be this. Honestly, they almost laughed her out the first time she showed up. Sort of upright, proper. Doesn't seem like she spends much time outside, let alone out in the woods. But seems to have.
Doesn't smell like leather and VO
Right.
like everybody else. Yeah.
But seems to have a steady supply of these creatures, and so she's it right now. So if you're looking for the guild leader, that's her. And they say that she's got a private room at the back of the guild. She sometimes comes out, but for the most part, she's either out hunting or in her rooms that are reserved for the leader of the guild.
Is she here now?
They say they'll check for you if you want to just mingle while they call back.
Okay.
They say they'll check for you.
Okay, so while I'm mingling, arrows, like how much? I want to get like some arrows and like supplies.
Standard arrows are pretty cheap. I think it's like you can get 20 arrows for like 5 to 10 silver. It's not that much.
Look it up real quick.
Alright, let me figure that out. I need to know like the breakdown. And I'm going to ask about where do I get these papers so next time I can enter.
Ooh, that's good.
How?
So for that, you got to go down to the government section of the city. You need to register who you are, where you're from, that you are wealthy enough to remain in the city, gainfully
So,
employed.
20 arrows or one
When
gold?
you mean wealthy enough,
Yeah.
you have to pay a fee for this?
Uh,
Or, like, how does this whole system work? Because,
registrar's like, yeah, there's fees for literally everything.
okay, so, just out of my curiosity, they have a barter system where you can bring goods to the city and get, like, a outsider's pass in for trade?
Trader's Pass costs a little bit less, but it still costs.
How much does it cost? Do you know? Because I'm low on the money. I've been gone for quite a while.
So did you pay the 50 gold to get in?
I did not.
Okay.
Out, they'll kick you out.
That's,
You guys came and vouched for me, so I didn't have to do that.
yeah, that's right. Well, so Trader's Pass, did you bring anything with you to trade? Because you're going to need somebody.
Knowledge?
Oh boy. Is it?
I was on a boat, but it sunk, so I lost everything that I would have had.
You're just like, oh.
There's some dude around here.
God.
Yeah, but
Okay, so you're here as a trader, but you don't have anything to trade really.
not. No.
You don't have any money.
I'm just thinking like I can scavenge stuff while I'm out, throw some squirrels or something in a bag and bring them in. Something.
Squirrels are not going to cut it these days.
Okay,
Alley
there's a
that
big.
quiet.
What about like a big threat to the city that like I know about though?
I mean,
Information.
information is valuable, yes. I mean, you can always try. I just, look, things aren't working the same around here the way they used to.
So how much gold does this trader's pass cost?
Trader's Pass is 25 gold.
Okay, I don't have that much gold.
We also need to find out who like Hitler this place up.
It'll last you for a hunting season. So, about 4 months.
Okay. So where can I get a loan?
You're gonna want to talk to Katrina. She's got a close eye on our finances these days. She's making sure we're staying on the up and up. So.
Okay, so yeah, I need Katrina.
Do you want me to
All
come
right.
down for this?
No.
So they bring her out.
Okay.
Well, she steps out, right? She's tiny.
I would say no.
She's like 5'3",
I just saw that. I was like, oh.
maybe
Only if she 5'3". Sorry.
5'3", maybe like 100 pounds, soaking wet. She is thin. She's short. She appears to be fairly frail. But on her back, she has one of the largest hammers that you've ever seen. It is enormous. The head of the hammer pokes past her hip, and you can see a wicked spike on the back of it. And the handle of the hammer goes up a good 3 or 4 feet above her head.
There's a guy in the back now. That's a big hammer.
She goes, damn right. But yeah, she just kind of like saunters over to you as though she cannot feel the weight of this hammer at all. It doesn't seem to be affecting her. And she says, so, you need me?
Yes, hi, my name's Ali Khan.
I was informed.
I'm from this area.
I'm sure
Nice
you are.
to meet you. I just saw a creature that you may be of interest, seeing as you're the leader of the guild now.
She kind of regards you with a heavy stare. She just throws up a hand, and a closed bottle of ale just hits it. She brings it down, and as she does, it like hooks on the handle of her hammer. It just pops off.
That is so cool.
It's so cool.
Suds McKenzie.
She takes a swig and she's like, "I'm listening."
So, we were, I don't know, a couple 100 feet out from the shore out here, and out of nowhere, what looks like a mountain appears.
Okay.
The boat does not stop in time and gently sweeps against this thing that's obviously alive.
So your captain's playing grab ass with his boat.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So, from on the creature's back, little creatures come onto the boat that are filled with some kind of disgusting, flammable liquid. When you kill them, they pretty much explode with this. Creature moves.
She's gonna cut you off. Come to the back. Stop talking. So she leads you back towards her quarters, and she kind of closes the door. You see her in a study. It's got a desk, just like all leather, everything, heads on the wall, fur, rug, bearskin rug, the whole classic hunter lodge room. She motions you to sit down. She sits on the desk, takes another swig of ale, and she's like, so how'd you get back here? If you were on this boat and the boat sank.
So, I took my nice bow here,
Mm-hmm.
took a rope, tied it to an arrow, shot it, jumped on the animal. It was swimming towards a cave, and I didn't want to go in that cave alone. So I made my way to the water, made my way here. Water landed here.
Huh.
But I could draw you a map and show exactly where that cave was.
Yeah, I don't need a map. I know where that cave is. Here's the thing. That cave is the source of my income right now. And I'm going to need you to not explore it and or go near it without my express permission. If you'd like to continue being a part of this guild and having access to the city, it's probably your
About
next
that access to the
Mhm.
city, I need to guarantee access to the city.
and I need you to guarantee me you're going to leave that cave alone.
Okay, that's no problem.
Done and done. Access. We can make sure you have your papers by the end of the day.
Okay, so we'll just forget about that cave for now. Is there any work that needs to be done?
No.
I don't know.
That last part, that for now is the part. Just forget about the cave.
Okay.
Okay.
So, is there any work that needs to be done?
Work that needs to be done. Work that needs to be done. Plenty. Depends on what you're good for. Our latrines always need cleaning, of course. All right.
I'm a pretty good hunter myself, so.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
I mean, we can go out together right now. You want to go? Go on a little adventure, but.
I work alone, so there's that. But, if I ever need someone to carry my bags, I'll let you know.
Okay. So, how do I guarantee my access to the city and I'll be out of your hair?
Paperwork. Leave your information with the front desk. I'll make sure they send it in with my seal, and it'll be done.
Okay.
Just remember. Yeah?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Very good.
Ixnay on the 8K.
So, she just gives you a wave of dismissal, kicks her feet back up on the desk.
Good thing we reported that to the town guards.
Way to go, goody two
As I walk out the door, by the way, I don't think anyone else knows about the cave, but they definitely saw the creature.
Yeah, people see that thing all the time. Don't worry about it. She's just kind of wave you out, like not even worried about you or anything you have to say. All right. So, where are you guys going first?
Obviously, we're gonna find an inn.
Well, if you guys want to do that, I'll go with you to the end, but I'm going straight to the Wizard College. Or
You
you
wanna
guys
go
can
in?
come with me and check it out. I mean, it's probably really awesome.
Yeah, college is for nerds. I
Yeah.
think you can go ahead and go to college and
I am. I
Get
fully
yourself squared away.
intend to, yes.
I say life is the best learning experience.
I think-
some place.
I agree.
Really
I'm gonna have to agree, and I think after that long journey, I'm very parched. We're gonna need to get some drinks and go to the tavern or the inn.
All right. So you head to the closest inn, you head to the center of town, and there's actually a good number of inns. You head back to that center that had the wide open space, and around it there were sort of shops, and there was the center for registering with the city and all that sort of stuff. There are actually a couple of inns there. There's one that's just called Dogma. It looks to be very posh. The people walking in there look to be wearing a particular style of clothing. A lot of bardic sort of foppishness going on with the people that are walking into Dogma.
Oh, hey, what
It's called
is
Dogma.
it? Is this place like totally integrated, or is there like a dominant race here?
Oh no, it's pretty integrated.
Okay.
There's
Like, are there
like
different water
so there-
fountains or.
Well, that's not quite what I meant, but
There's a high one and a low one.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, okay, I get that. Okay.
there are all
yeah,
kinds.
right, yeah. Okay.
There are all
That
kinds
makes
in the
sense.
city.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Okay.
because of the fact that this is a city that really is kind of on the cusp of magic and technology, and that's not.
I was just
super
saying, dwarves
accepted.
do not do the foppish dandy thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's foppish? Like overly dressed? Is that what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Okay. Like
Like a giant like ostrich feather in your hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you guys dress like trainings.
Sorry.
So Dogma is that place.
Yes. There is a sort of the closest you can see to what might be the equivalent of like a chain
Wow.
place. It's called Rastenberry's
Company.
Beds for All.
Say it again.
That's funny.
I mean, it's funny because it's extremely specific.
Rastenberry's.
So like everybody knows Rastenberry's face, like grinning, like face.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a recognizable.
and it's in a,
Is it
that's
the
a
magic
yes,
TVs
right?
Yes.
like up on the city walls? There's like, come down to Rastenberry's.
yeah.
We'll make your night.
What does
a great
Rastenberry
one."
look like?
Fishy Joe's.
So Rastenberry
What's
is
the whole name? I'm sorry.
Rastenberry's Beds for All.
Beds for all.
Beds for All.
It's Motel 6. I mean, it's.
And Rastenberry is a very smug-looking tiefling.
Mm.
And you can actually see him through the front window, standing behind the bar, kind of like.
Wait, this is like the original location.
Oh, this is the original Rastenberry.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We gotta go there.
It's very classy, but also, and you can see him being very chummy with everybody, kind of like laughing.
I feel like we're gonna maybe pass somebody on the street.
I feel like he's like one of those Richard Branson millionaires, like
Well, yeah.
eccentric as all get out.
We're gonna get the idea that that's where everybody's going, and we're gonna take one look in there and look at each other and be like,
Never.
no.
I just am very interested.
Yeah.
I've never seen something like this before.
There's a Rastenberry's in my hometown. It serves ale that tastes like it was leaked out of a homeless man's bladder.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
go there.
And then the only other one you see that seems to be like having any sort of business. The rest you're not sure if they're inns or private residences, but the last one you see is called the All Tucked Inn.
That's great.
Yeah.
Is that the one where people get stabbed at?
AKA the Night's Inn.
Yeah, the Night's Inn is the equivalent to Night's Inn in real life. Yeah.
What was the last one? I'm sorry. This All Tucked In.
The All Tucked Inn.
The all tucked in.
It's your standard.
And tucked
you know,
is in quotations. It's like
Yeah.
the all tucked
Tucked
in.
in.
Like,
But yeah, and that one seems to be the most standard inn, just kind of like wooden structure, still clean because they're trying to stay in the city and.
Well, I mean, it's up to you guys.
which one's popping? Like, which one's popping the most?
So Dogma is pretty
which one
popping.
seems like, which one has got like a classic like Western scene where somebody's like getting thrown out and then everybody's
There's, like, a piano
hooting
playing.
and hollering and then the guy like gets like slides on his back and then he like gets up and runs back in like it was no big deal.
Not here. Not here. They would be kicked out of the city.
Okay.
None of those ruffians around.
Then let's go. We can go to the chain because that's what I'm looking for. And if that's not existing, I'm
Right, because that's where the cheapest place. Well, okay, we're in a city where there's a lot of rich people.
Maybe this is where we'll get the most.
So we're gonna
as far
find
as
the
I
middle
know
class
about
people.
it, as far as I know about it, the rooms are like his motto is that his rooms are affordable. I mean,
So it's middle class.
And we also have Sir Roderick can probably hook us up if we really need.
Let's
to.
ask him. Hey, Roderick, where's the best place to stay?
Yeah, so they're like Sir Roderick. Everybody else is kind of filtering back to their.
they're like because we're like still in the central
Yeah.
entrance of the city.
Yeah.
But they're probably starting to break off.
They're filtering back to their home. Sir Roderick hangs around because he wants to make sure you're taken care of and
Sure.
get your contact information of where you're staying so that he can get back in touch with you.
Right, because we're not really ready to jump into all the favors and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're trying to. We're
it's
still
the first night.
decompressing.
So yeah, so you turn to Sir Roderick. What are you asking him?
Hey, Rods. Where's the best place to stay?
Well,
In your humble opinion.
Sir Roderick's fairly young, and he's like, I mean, what exactly are you looking for? I mean, the All Tucked is classic. My dad used to stay there before or when our house was being renovated, he stayed at the All Tux. He's very good friends with the owner, the proprietor there. Rastonberries is, you know, it is what it is. Every city's got a Rastonberries. Of course, it's the original location, so it's got a much more interesting client.
So that's where they sell the tunics out of. I like roll my eyes.
The standard.
The tunics and tankards. Like they have a tunics and tankards desk. Get a souvenir from your stay at Rastonberries.
Okay. I had a great time at Rastonberry.
Yeah. Yeah. Period.
I had a time at Rastonberry. Very middle of the road.
You can get your favorite cat calendars there.
Oh my
I went to Rastonberries and all I got was a stupid tunic. But yeah. And then Dogma's new. I don't really know much about it. It seems to be the place where all the more wild mages from the college tend to go over there. So
We'll stay away from
This guy has no idea what he's talking about. What I think is you're dehydrated and delusional. I think you need to get some drinks in you to like kind of bring you back up.
Actually, alcohol will dehydrate you further.
Well, I
That's
mean,
been
if you're
proven that
being like technically accurate.
yes, that's correct.
Whatever. I'm following you.
I'm interested in Dogma.
I advise all of you to alternate your drinks with a glass of water in between.
Thanks, Mom.
you just hear from inside a Dogma for no reason.
Well,
Nerd.
just advice for the less hardy races.
I'm gonna definitely give Garrick one of the yeah, I know. Has a totally.
It's just it's the standard protocol for non-dwarves. I mean, you can't survive on alcohol alone.
Right.
All right, let's go in there.
Let's hit it.
All right, so you head over to Dogma.
All right.
Is that what-
I'll say, well, this is where we part ways. I'll look you up. It was a pleasure.
You know where to find me.
Yes, that's how we do it here.
Hey,
Oh, is that your custom?
Yeah.
I'll like mimic your bow.
I
give
know
me
I know where you're at. We'll be in
performance
touch.
roll, please.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be an 18.
Yeah, you mimic it really well.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive for the first time having done it.
Interesting.
Not
I
racist at
haven't
all. Way to go.
studied much on Dragonborn culture. I'll have to come back and we'll share among the veils.
We'll talk.
So you head to Dogma.
Okay, so he's away at this point, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, should we get really drunk and then go crash his dorm?
100%. I thought that was a plan.
I'm just gonna claw you.
Yeah.
Call five.
You got a thing going on, huh?
For gripping.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Oh.
That's how you go to jail.
So you go through the doors of Dogma, and there's actually like an entrance room. Okay, you walk through, and it doesn't go immediately into the actual main area of Dogma. There's a gentleman standing there. He's probably about 8.5 foot tall, red skin, like auburn hair, like swept kind of to the side and up.
He's a red guard.
And he's got like golden reddish skin, and bright orange
That's
eyes.
bananas. So that's bananas.
And he looks down at you and he says, he looks at the way that Hatur is dressed.
Yeah.
Looks at you and he's like, alright, this one makes sense. What are you gonna do for you, gentlemen?
Oh yeah, we're looking to get into your establishment here and maybe have a few drinks, get some room and board maybe.
He's like, alright. Points to the wall where you can see a huge, it's kind of weird how you missed it in the first place, huge arcane symbol. It's just intricate. It's carved into the wall, and there also seems to be a sort of metallic paint in the grooves. He's like, cantrip, let's go.
Right. I'm gonna go like, oh, forgive me. Yeah, we just had a big ordeal. Maybe you can make sure that I just get us up to code because we're like, we just had a lot going on, and obviously we're all wet and
Just
and
nodding my
tattered
head
and
and looking around.
yeah, it was just such a tough thing. So yeah, forgive us.
Dogmas for magic users, man.
Right. Sure. But sure. Let me do some magic for you, and I'm gonna pull out maybe a small magic trick that I know. I'm gonna.
Well, you know how to cast detect magic and identify.
So I'm gonna do. I'm gonna maybe ask for a test, but first I'm gonna kind of maybe I got this. I just do this. Just bear with me, and
I'll just
so if we'll be going ahead and
Yeah, no.
sure. Okay, maybe I can. Maybe you've got some sort of benchmark for me. Obviously, these types of magic tricks aren't what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for something a little more intricate.
A little bit, yeah.
Sure. Maybe what I got detect magic. Is that
Yeah.
something I can do? How do I leverage this? I'm like,
it's not like a thing.
Put your hand on the wall. Alright. So, you put your hand on the wall, on the rune, and you can sense, sort of, with you've been around magic before. You've studied it,
sure.
and you're familiar with some of the runes, not all of them. But putting your hand on the wall, you can sense that it's mostly absorption, just energy absorption, and also a runic identification. So you know that this is basically there to make sure that A, somebody can do magic, and B, to make sure that that magic doesn't destroy the wall.
Right. Okay. So I'm doing that and feeling, and yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's textbook. This is by the book. You can feel
I
it.
mean, you're casting a spell right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah.
So feeling it.
So the rune actually lights up, starting from your hand and kind of swirling around it. And there's a number of runes that sort of change shape. And the guy is kind of staring at it like, alright, cool. He's not super impressed, but he's like, alright, I get it. It's something. So he kind of steps out, parks on its own. And you can see beyond it, just kind of a smoky room. Can't see much because it's pretty dense, that smoke.
hookah bar.
Right. And I'm gonna part the smoke with my hand. Do like this. You go just enough to just get a little thing, and I'm gonna look back at my bro and give him the old.
+1.
He's just gonna look at him like, no. You with him? Like, go ahead. He just looks like he can't be bothered right now. He's just like, go ahead.
I was starting to get the impression like, oh shit, I can't do magic. I'm gonna have to pull something out, but it would probably destroy that wall.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can also
that
breathe something. What color are you? Copper.
That would have been interesting.
Just a big smoking hole in it. I was like, oh god, I don't take my rest.
So you walk in. As soon as you walk in the bar, as soon as you pass that curtain, wall of sound. There is just ridiculously raucous, string quartet of yeah, it's a ridiculously raucous
Playing these vampire guitars.
string quartet, and you can see them playing, and it looks like each of them has 3 or 4 hands occupying the same space, playing these instruments.
It is
Are they
technically
playing Tool in here?
Probably.
Yeah.
This is like 3 or 4 hands occupying the same space, allowing them to play the instrument in 4 realities at once.
Just 4 layers of master of puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just made for image. It's not that impressive.
And then there's just one guy he's like in a cocoon of percussion instruments, and just like them, except he looks like some sort of god with 16 arms just sprouting from his chest, and
So
they're
it's
just
Neil Peart.
playing
Yeah, I was gonna say Neil Peart.
playing all these percussion instruments at once, and they're just jamming. They're having a great time.
Sure. Okay. So this is definitely my jam. Now let me ask: Did Roderick follow us in here, or is he gone?
So
We
This
parted
seem-
ways, I think.
I think you said like, oh, we're gonna go in there. And you're
Okay.
like, all right, I'll look you up.
Because this definitely seems like something he should have had his finger right on his pulse. But
Problem is-
maybe not magic. Can't get in.
Yeah.
Can't get in. So, I'm gonna. This is for me. I'm beaming, right? This is
Mhm.
like my jam. This is exactly where I belong.
I'm just like,
So I'm
like,
assuming
where are we?
everybody's kind
What
of
is this?
pumping with the music, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, somehow, like, I'm not really liking it, but somehow I'm like,
Right. So we're gonna
can't deny the beat.
saddle up to the bar, kind of dance up to the bar,
Mhm.
and just
Do one of those things where you're like weaving through the crowd but also dancing at the same time.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
trying to get there.
Pardon me.
Hey now, and then go over to the bar, and the bartender immediately sees us walk in because like they know everybody else's face. I'm assuming. And
Yep.
and we're very different.
They're like, okay,
You
these
are
are some new
pretty
guys,
different.
I'm super different. You're just not a familiar face.
and you raise the hand and break down. The bartender comes and greets us, and we're
By the
gonna-
way, the bartender is a cloak covering a shadow.
right. The cloak covering a shadow.
Yeah, those kind of things like the bartender greets you. That's like what he has to say.
Just, like, the cloak is like,
Yeah.
No, it looks like a person. Like it's a shadow in the shape of a person.
I'm just gonna throw up like before they like as I see them, I'm gonna throw up the two, like just two, whatever the thing is. I just want two of them.
So
Yeah.
you see the shadows kind of like handling some other business, like with some other customers. You see it kind of like preparing a drink. You kind of see its head kind of turning in your direction, nods, and two long tendrils of shadow whip out from the back of the cloak and start grabbing bottles and
Awesome.
glasses, and it mixes up a steaming drink, like just so much just smoke wafting off of it, and those
Flat white mocha.
those tendrils whip out and like slide them down the bar at you, and they just kind of and stop directly in front of you.
All right. Cheers, my good man.
Constitution checks from both of you, please.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
I knew I shouldn't drink it.
Constitution.
Is that one?
Oh, yeah, I'm so good.
What's your con
Oh
modifier?
boy. 3.
So
25,
you get
actually.
11.
11. All right.
25.
Yeah.
Oh, you're proficient in con checks.
So you throw
I
this
rolled
back.
19.
Oh wait, I'm proficient in that. Is that
Yes,
Yeah, you are. So you're gonna
So
add
plus
+5. So you got a 13.
All right.
That's pretty good.
So
That's so
you throw this back, and like you feel a burn in your chest, and then a slight few wisps of smoke come out of your nose, but
Pretty good.
tastes pretty good. You throw it back. There's definitely a burn that goes all the way down to your stomach, and you've got some smoke coming out of your nose, and a little actually seeps out from behind your eyes
right?
Oh.
Metal.
and like wafts up. But in,
Does it make a mustache? I'm just like,
but yeah, the like you notice. Let me get perception checks from both of you also.
Which one's that?
That's wisdom.
Well, it's
Whiz.
based on whiz, and you're not trained, so you're gonna -2 from this roll. Actually,
oh.
0.
so you're like still
You
hurt
both
by
rolled.
2. You got a 0 too.
I got a 5.
You get a
Uh,
5. All right.
Okay.
So
totally oblivious.
you're just
We
like
are just really thirsty. We
you're
don't
just
give a
like
shit.
really feeling this drink, like kind of analyzing, like, oh, that's pretty fucking great.
I'm looking at the bottle.
And you're looking at the bottle and like, oh, yeah.
Definitely
Shine
secret.
light.
And a guy, but you don't see is until two hands clap you on the shoulder, and there's a guy standing between you. he's also got that sort of golden reddish skin, the wild auburn hair. He's a little shorter, probably about 7.5 feet, 7'8".
Yeah.
Um,
Regular Pee-wee boy there. Yeah.
But he's got a cloak on also.
As that happens, my hand immediately goes to the.
Okay. But so he's got a cloak on also over what's just a regular tunic. It's all white. He's got like a white tunic, bare chest underneath of it, and some white trousers. And he's not wearing any shoes. But his cloak is like gold, straight gold.
James Brown style.
It's probably so heavy.
Yeah. And it's like open at the top, so he's got his chest out and he's all ripped up, and he's just like, very impressive, gentlemen. Very impressive. Most new folks can't handle that on the first go. I'm digging it.
I'll say, line, thank you. It was very good.
And so he's like, name's Roderick. Most people call me Roddy. Nice to meet you, man.
Roddy, more or less. Nice to meet you as well.
A total.
His name's Roderick also?
Yeah.
It's gonna be so
So yeah, it's like, name's Roderick. Most people call me Roddy.
Hey, Roderick.
What brings you around these parts, man?
Well, I was just traveling for some very deep. Can we get some more of those, do you think?
Absolutely!
You
And
want
he's
to
just
do a
like,
couple more?
throws his hand up,
I'll do 3 claws.
and that same bartender, this time he actually comes over and he's preparing your drinks, not with his weird shadow tendrils, and he pours them out, and he serves them out.
How you doing, guys? Good time tonight?
So,
We got Lizard Man.
Yeah.
Gary,
Shadow. Yeah.
you take off from them.
Mm-hmm.
You see them head on into Dogma, and you take off from them. And so you're heading towards the college?
Yes, I'll be asking people on the street for directions.
Everybody knows where it is. It's like, it's almost in the center of the city. It's one of the largest buildings, one of the largest campuses of buildings in the city. And so they point you in this direction. It takes you about, 5-10 minutes walk, passing by all sorts of, you see Arcanums filled with, you see people going in and out. You see all kinds of, there's a couple of temples, there's a couple of libraries, just all kinds of buildings holding knowledge and people experimenting, because the area of town you're heading to isn't residential. So
It's like you're walking up to the Smithsonian, you're like,
yeah. And so yeah, you arrive and it's 6 buildings. It's one large central building, and then 5 5 buildings that are identically spaced around that are also identical in shape. The only difference between them is that each of them has a different runic symbol on its above its door, like massive doorways with these massive steps that lead up to them. Each of them has a different arcane symbol above it.
Okay.
But they've pointed you to the central building.
Is this the actual magic college, or is this just the transmutation college? Or
This is the whole college.
This is the whole college.
This is the whole college.
So I'm gonna be like, whoa, those are some large edifices. I'll have to look that up. Stride into the, I guess the main, I'll ask a passing student, like, where's the registration?
So registration is in the main building.
Yeah.
Registration in the main building. They tell you to, head up to the 30th floor.
All right.
And you're looking, and these buildings definitely aren't any higher than like 5 floors.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But they're like, head up to the 30th. You might want to take the transit system inside if you've never been. They say head to the right. Ask somebody if you've never used them before. Wouldn't want you transmitted to a different plane.
Willy Wonka shit.
Yeah, that seems
He opens a little door
And he walks away just like
So,
laughing so hard. Like,
Oh boy.
but yeah.
Well, thank you. I'll head in and do as he says, kind of, open the door and look around, like, oh, that must be it right there.
So you find it pretty quickly. There's signs. They don't want people getting lost, especially not in this place. But yeah, you start walking, and like you're walking in a direction for long enough where you're like, I should have hit a wall. You recognize it's just some space alteration magics. But yeah, you arrive at an area that has, again, just a number of platforms made out of metallic substance, and each of them has a series of highly intricate runes carved on them, and each of them just has, in the middle, there seems to be a name, like a name of a building.
Is there an obvious button that I should be pressing? Is there like a 30 or a registration or a main reception or anything like that I see?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh, that is a lot. That's a 23.
So yeah, you start deciphering these runes immediately, and you pick up ones on transportation, dimensional gating. You see ones for protection and safety. You actually see one off in the corner that has one for protection from demons, and you're like,
What?
But yeah, pretty close to the front. You see one that has just the arcane symbol for transmutation, like smack dab in the middle, and you can suss out that that's probably the one that takes you where you need to go. And it looks like you really just need to step on it and will it.
Against the dark arts.
I do so.
Okay, so you step on it, and it's willpower based.
Okay.
It's mostly about wanting it to happen and trusting that you have the mental capacity to make it happen.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and give you a intelligence check with advantage.
Okay. I rolled a natural 20.
So it boots up immediately, and before you even have a chance to consider the magic flowing through you, you're standing on an identical pad in an identical area, but the building in front of you is obviously very different, set up in a very different way. So you can only assume that you're in the transmutation building.
Oh. Well, that wasn't too hard.
Yeah.
So I'll head off, step off the pad and head over to, is there like a front desk or what am I
Yeah, well, you step off the pad and you're immediately accosted,
Oh.
okay? You step
Whoa!
up, and there are two large people. They just happen to have wings, one in white, one in black, and they just kind of like come up on either side and
Did
you're
they
like,
touch me?
whoa! Yeah, they're gonna grab you by the shoulders.
Whoa, hey, take it easy. What do you think you're doing?
Where'd you come from? What's going on? And they're just kind of like back and forth. Where'd you come from? What's going on? What are you doing here? How'd you get in here, man?
I asked somebody down there what to do, and I took this portal up. As to where I came from, I have a letter of conditional acceptance right here from the High Transmographer herself.
So you're saying nobody had to accompany you. You ever been here before? I never seen you before.
No, I haven't been here before.
Nobody had to accompany you.
No.
You're telling me on the first go, never having used it before, you used our transmat system?
Yeah, so it's simple when you have the correct derivative of tensor calculus.
They're both like just staring you down.
It's ingenious, if anything. I commend the wizard who thought of it.
One of them just holds out his hand for the letter. What's your name again?
Garrett McCowan.
Spell that for me.
Garrick
Mm-hmm.
space
Mm-hmm.
MacAllan.
Gonna hand off the letter to the other guy. Where you come from?
The Dwarven Kingdom?
Spell that for me.
No.
Alright.
Classic Futurama.
Yeah. The puppy would have also been acceptable.
He hands it back back to you and he's like, all right. Take a left. Head all the way down. When you feel like you've gone too far, stop. It'll be the door on the right.
Thank you.
They're just gonna turn around and start inspecting the runes on the thing, like trying to see if you tampered with them. You see them kind of got their heads together and they're discussing all the patterns and they're just like,
Well, that was certainly odd.
she whispers.
So I'll head down until I feel like I'm going far enough, I guess.
Just constantly.
All right.
Hogwarts-esque direction.
Yeah.
So you walk until you feel like you've gone far enough, and then they said,
Take a right.
take a right.
Yep.
You'll be right there.
Door on your right.
Okay.
So you open the door, or the
Oh,
door is
on-
on your right.
If it's a closed door, I will knock on the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you knock on the door, and you can hear there's kind of like somebody moving around inside, but nobody answers.
I'll knock again.
So there's even louder movement and like the sound of a glass falling and shattering. And then the door opens and just like the most stereotypical wizard, old, long beard, spectacles, the robes was just crazy. He's like, "What? What do you need?"
My name is Garrick McCowan. I have a conditional letter of acceptance here from High Transmographer Alara.
Well,
I was
then
supposed
maybe
to
go to her office.
Well, but the guys with the wings said to walk until I walked far enough and then turn right.
No, they should have told you to walk until you feel like you've gone too far, and then turn right. You
So how
just
many
went
doors is
far
that?
enough.
How many doors is that down?
Until you think you've gone too far.
Okay,
You stopped when you thought you went far enough. Children these days.
My
Just
apologies.
Slam the
Elder.
door in your face.
Jeez. So I'll start jogging down the hall until I am exhausted from jogging, and then I'll say, "Knock, knock, knock." So none of these doors are labeled. I take it.
Not a single one.
Oh, great.
It's
Okay.
like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the door opens up immediately, and you see a girl of about 6, and she's standing there. She's got no eyes.
What did they say? Did you say come in?
No, she just opened it up,
Oh.
and she's got no eyes.
Ah!
I mean, wow.
Greetings. I'm Garrick McCowan. I was told to come to High Transmographer Alara.
So even though she doesn't have any eyes, it's not like they're like closed, they're open, so you can see to the back.
Ugh.
Does she just like open her mouth and just start?
Wait, you mean like her eyes aren't like white voids? They're like no eyeballs are in her
No
head?
eyeballs in her head.
So it's just like the open socket.
The scream in the
And she's
beginning
still
was totally
blinking.
justified.
Okay.
She's like, "You seem exhausted. You're trying to find High Master Alara, aren't you?
Yes.
I'll take you." She kind of like close the door behind her, and she like holds her hand up for you to take her hand.
I will very reluctantly do so.
Yeah, she just like grabs your hand and she just
Grabs the cloak.
starts walking.
One finger, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
She just starts walking. After about 30 minutes, she looks up at you. What are you doing?
I am going over in my head like, is this some sort of test? Like, what does this level of complexity accomplish? What wizard would think like this? Like at this point, I'm like, why is this happening right here? Is this like hazing for the newbies?
All right, so she's gonna chuckle to herself and keep walking.
Is your name Luna Lovegood?
Eyeless McEyefuck. Yeah.
So you walk for another half hour, and she looks up at you, and she says, "Where were you going again?"
High Transmographer Alara's office. Are we there?
So she's kind of like, I would say shifty-eyed, but it's really just like the
Yeah.
movement of her eyelids.
That's grossing me out.
Who are you anyway?
She's just gonna skitter down the hallway and leave
Son
you.
of a... So I'm gonna look around where I am. I assume it's the same like hallway of unbroken doors.
It's an asshole.
So I'm gonna look to the door to my right and look to the door to my left, and I'm gonna step one door further, and then turn to my right and knock on that door.
Come in.
I'm gonna open the knob and like peek around the corner like that. Who do I see? And what does the room look like?
So you've met High Master Lara before, right?
No.
Okay. Well,
I know she's female. That's all I know.
You see a decently tall woman with like flowing golden hair. She's got pointed ears, and she's sitting on a stack of cushions. And the cushions seem to be of all different sizes, but the center cushion is a tiny little like teacup cushion, and then it spreads back out, and she's just balancing on those, reading a book.
My name's Garrett McCallan. I'm looking for the High Transmographer.
Yes. McCallan. She flips a page. The dwarf.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Look down at myself like, yeah, still a dwarf.
My observations tell me that you know magic.
Indeed, I've mastered the rudimentary steps to wizardry and hope to join your college to learn more.
Excellent. My senses never fail me, Mr. McCallan. It's the first thing you'll need to learn. Notice how I noticed and knew that you were a dwarf who knew magic.
Oh. Yes! So impressive and insightful. I can see why you're the head of this particular branch of the college.
Indeed, Mr. McCallan. I sense that you will go far. But you won't do so from the doorway. Please enter.
Very well. I'll shut the door and head in.
Tell me, Mr. McCallan, how does our transmat system work?
By folding space upon itself through derivatives, using tensor calculations, all folded up into a simple push button and stand on a pad system. It's quite ingenious, really.
And, Mr. McCallan, what are the dangers of using tensor calculus in folding space-time?
Well, that you could have an asymptote that throws you off into a random plane.
Have you ever been to another plane, Mr. McCallan?
I have not.
We'll have to
That kind of magic isn't very common where I come from.
We'll have to correct that oversight. You cannot be expected to play around with dimensional magics if you've never been to another dimension. Would you like to go right now?
Sure.
Come closer, Mr.
All right.
McCallan. And she's going to, like, rear back with her hand and smash it into your forehead. Like,
All right.
with as much power as she can muster, which actually isn't that
Is
much.
she still on this tower of cushions, or did she come down?
She's still on the Tower of Cushions, and yet from at the top of the
Frog
Tower of
splash.
Cushions, she manages to hit you in the forehead.
Wow.
And so it smashes, like, you feel the palm hit your forehead with the lightest touch, but you see the hands just move through your face, and you can see, like, the inside of her musculature.
Ah!
And when the arm is removed, you are sitting in a smoky room, far hazier than you've ever seen before, and you can see the outlines of 5 individuals. 4 of them seem to be like this, and you can see their hands moving. And one of them seems to be sitting, And you can see an outline of a person, and then you can see the ghostly outlines of 16 arms that appear to be moving in some sort
these are
of
just
wild dance.
Sitting in like a blank
Cool.
space.
They're sitting in a-
No.
Definitely playing.
They're sitting in, they're sort of sitting in a blank space.
I'll whip out my notebook and start taking notes. Fascinating. What? I say, you there. What plane is this? Be like addressing the. Is she next to me? Is she around?
No, she's
Oh.
not there with you at all.
I say, you good fellows. Where have I traveled to?
You see just one of them. The rest of them don't seem to notice you at all. And just one of them turns towards you, and you can see that he also has no eyes. And he opens his mouth, and all you hear is an ear-splitting screech that reverberates into the center of your brain.
And
then
then
you-
to the far realm by accident. What
And
is this abomination?
All you can see is the inside of flesh again, and then the back of your head just feels like it's pulled forward from the back to the front, and then you're standing in front of the High Magister again. She says, "So,
Did you send me to the abyss? Where was that?
no, it's just the third pocket realm of dogma."
There were men with no eyes, and they had to scream. They had to scream.
Yeah, we haven't figured out how to fix that yet. Maybe next time. So,
Moving.
Alican, you leave the Hunters Guild. Do you know where you're heading next?
Yeah.
Because
No.
your paperwork's on its
I
way.
didn't want to leave the Hunters.
Oh,
Guild
you're not
yet.
leaving. Okay, you're just
No.
leaving the office.
I had two things. Right before I walk out of the office, I thought of two things I wanted to ask Katrina.
Go for it.
Real quick, Katrina, two questions. One.
She puts her drink down.
Have you heard anything about, and I'm going to ask about my favorite enemy, which you haven't told me is yet, because I told you to come up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So have you heard anything about,
Them?
The creature that destroyed your home.
Yeah.
What was it called?
Cuttlefish. What is it? A dollar fiend?
I do not know.
Meru?
I do not know its name,
Well,
but I can describe it for you.
go ahead and describe it, please.
So imagine a humongous sumo wrestler with like a pig's face,
know
giant
what
boar
his name
tusks, and it's not a coom or
Wow.
What'd you say?
yakum or aku. Yes,
But
Yeah,
so,
I think
but
that's
it's like
called-
huge.
I think
It's
that's called an oni.
It's a job of the head.
you never got an opportunity
yeah.
to see the creature, right? Or you know what
That's
it
like
looks
the size
I
of a
know
house.
it
Onis
looks
are actually in
like-
the monster manual.
And this is it,
but I was very small,
Mhm.
so I've only seen it that one time.
right? And she sort of stops, thinks, she's like, never heard of anything like
Something
that.
a little raggedy.
She seems really
Yes.
intrigued. Like it would be something she would be interested in hunting
Way
down.
scarier than what
If you ever
described.
do, please, if you could
That's
get that information to me some kind of way.
It's like you've encountered a creature like this.
Yes, I was a very small child, and it destroyed my entire village, and I was
Gotta hold
hiding,
them,
and it didn't get me. I was the only survivor, and so actually the elves around here raised me. I'm gonna pull back my cloak because I kind of carry myself like an elf and be like, I'm in fact human, and put my hood back up.
So she's an elf herself,
Yes.
and she's just gonna be like, she's kind of shocked that you aren't an elf. She's kind of like, obviously you've spent a lot of time around elves. She can clearly see that in the way that you carry yourself and the way that you speak and interact with people. So
And you can say to her, "La shalanemiha," or whatever else
She's-
sounds like.
Yeah.
kind of impressed with you right now.
Yama.
This is for a human to have integrated into elf society that much is it's not a common feat. So you can see she kind of scoots back in her chair, puts her feet on the floor, and regards you for a second. She's like, "I'll look into it. If I find anything, I suppose I can let you know."
Okay.
And so she says, "You had a second question?"
Yes. On a lighter note, do you know where I would go to inquire about a unicorn?
She kind of sits forward.
Not a eunuch, a unicorn.
Alive or
Yes. alive.
dead? Okay, yeah. Of course, alive. You would never want them any other way, right? So,
Actually, there are several properties. They're most epic.
so here's the thing: one does not inquire after a unicorn, at least not to anybody but a unicorn.
The shadow of the bar eats.
Okay.
So, I would suggest you go looking for one in pure places in the world. That's your best option.
Okay.
And if one wants to be found, it'll be found. Otherwise, you'll never see one.
Okay. Well, thanks for the insight. If you hear anything,
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah.
I will leave there, and then in the Hunters Guild, I'm going to look around and see if there's any like jobs posted, because I need to make some money because I'm broke.
Okay.
And cash rules everything around us.
Yes.
Right.
And
Okay.
I have goals that I need to accomplish.
Okay.
She got
So yeah,
jobs.
there's a job board. The Hunters Guild definitely has a job board.
Okay.
Most of them are for small game at this point in time. People who are looking for things to be killed in a way that they can have them stuffed so they can put them in their hunting rooms and pretend to
What?
their friends that they've
Wow.
actually hunted something.
Wow, that's like a service the Hunters Guild provides. Like, yes, we'll make you look like a world class explorer.
It's sort of a
Big
it's
game hunter.
it's
It's like every business's business model in history.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
yeah, they it's an accepted sort of thing of like, all right, these richos that live around here are always trying to one up each other. Sure, they want to pretend like they've gone on a hunt. I'm gonna make money off of them. So there's those. There are a couple of jobs that are a bit more dangerous that come from the actual city itself. That are about hunting creatures that have injured people who've actually gone out on hunts by themselves. There are a lot of exaggerated accounts of people being injured by massive monsters, probably just boars in the woods. And then there is one for a mercenary company who is looking for some assistance. This would be slightly more long term, but they kind of give out jobs themselves,
Okay.
looking for active members.
Okay, I'm gonna see that. And is there like, where does it say to go for that?
Is there a little rip off?
Yeah, that's what I was imagining in my head, but.
For lessons, call 555.
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
There's directions to
Okay.
a location.
Okay. That's where I want
Come on,
to
go
go.
outside.
They say to okay. So they say basically to go to the very edge of everybody got kicked out of here. This is kind of like the lowest that are still allowed to stay. In a particular area, the residential area, and they said to inquire after Benji at a particular shop.
Okay.
So you're gonna go there right now?
Yeah, that's where I'm headed.
Okay. So you're headed there.
Papers are on their way to being made so I can enter the city, so now that's where I'm headed.
Okay. Your shots are coming in. How many more are you doing? You just gonna keep rolling them in, or?
I have a feeling that we're pretty tuned up at this point, right?
I'm going to actually consume a little less than you because I like to keep aware of my surroundings. So I'm going to be like buzzed.
You don't chug the next
Yeah.
drink you get.
I was chugging them, and also I feel like
Plus, I feel like I should keep an eye out for you.
I definitely and I definitely
Kind of need that.
seem to have it affected me a little bit.
Are there any
A little bit
tiefling
more.
chicks like, try this, baby?
Yeah. What's that? You'll see.
You'll see. It's a cheese.
So I think
There are.
I think I mean is the clock ticking here? Is it later? Is it much later? Are we tuned up at this point?
Hmm. Well, it's been about, we'll say about an hour and a half. In that amount of time, are you a little? You were a little under. No, you were fine after the first one. Give me a Constitution check real quick.
Like, I know my limits.
Constitution. Oh yeah. 8
Plus the
and
5, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Rolled before.
And then give me a Wisdom save.
It's not gonna be good. That's a 9.
7.
So you had your second one. Still feel great. Didn't affect you at all. So you start dialing it up a notch, and over the next hour you have 6 more shots.
That's typical.
Yeah.
Typical. So I'm assuming my shirt's off at this point. That's like what happens.
I
All right.
still have the top hat on.
Top hat is on. I'm raging. I'm definitely raging.
Yeah.
I'm really feeling.
I think you
I am
found your woodies.
really feeling the band. Definitely doing some shake dancing.
At one point when you're doing the shake dancing, you hear a mildly ungodly scream at the back of your head. It sounds like this 1,000 voices in the darkness cried out and were silenced.
Oh. Okay.
Just for a brief second.
Yeah. Oh.
And one of the guys in the
Quick,
band
get
who's
the
playing
order
just
on.
kind of like,
I'll be a wizard party next to you. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Multi-planar surfaces collide, you know, man. All right.
Hey man, watch this.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Roman candle.
yeah, there's at least one.
Check out Cage Dancers. Major illusion.
Yeah, there's at least one freshman with just prestidigitated lights shooting from his fingers. So he's
Oh, he's going.
he's just doing this.
Yeah.
They're just raging.
I thought you were gonna say there's like one freshman and like people are like making him chug, like lap it up, asshead, or you're never getting in.
He's got a
Pledge.
He's got a code.
Yeah.
He's got a funnel.
Oh.
We're raging.
I'm keeping an eye on.
All right.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. I think.
It's gonna be entertaining.
I- it's like-
I'm amused.
I
Don't
think
get
at
me
some
wrong,
point
but-
it's gonna hit me that I'm like completely just like blacked out and just. Oh, I gotta figure something out. Like I don't have a home here, so I'm gonna kind of mini panic, but still keep it cool.
Mm-hmm.
Make it back up to the bar and ask the bartender what the room situation is. Completely.
Why don't you say that in character?
I'm gonna.
Keeping in mind you've had like 7 shots of some unknown like burning alcohol.
Okay, alright. So I'm gonna completely blow off Arturo, like I completely forgot that he exists, and just fall up on the bar. Excuse me.
You work in a
I
bar,
need a-
Cliff, is that accurate?
I'm gonna need some attention down here. And do you guys have any places? The rooms need a place to stay. And I'm gonna need one more drink. Just one more, if you could, please, sir.
So he's still at the other end of the bar, like making drinks for the other people. And again, one of those tentacles shoots out, and it like springs up in front of your face and makes like a little mini face in front of you. And it's like, we're out of rooms, mister.
Can I at least get that drink though?
gonna like get real close to your face, and it's just gonna like. It like zooms back.
From my angle.
Like zooms back into his cloak. And you see another smoking drink, like slide down towards you.
I am actually gonna catch it mid-slide,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say you don't need this.
Hey, buddy.
When
did you get here?
I'll move
Oh, buddy.
on. You're done.
Well,
Do you live here?
cause I may be a little
Bartender, 2 waters, please.
bit. I think I'm a little bit. I think I need to lay down now.
I'm gonna say, I have a room. You can crash with me for the night.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, but you're gonna drink this first.
Sure.
Here, I just don't really want to do this. I'll
The
pull
best
off.
drunk pantomime I've
Hold on,
ever
wait.
seen.
I'll pull off my hat.
Yeah,
and
you-
hand it to him.
Got him.
Ha ha.
Wow. I'll take that and go. Because it just doesn't fit.
And you'll go, pizza, hot dogs, pizza.
Jesus. Yeah. So one, you get an inspiration die for that. That was awesome, RP.
Thanks.
2, you
I'm
once
gonna-
again feel
I'm gonna attempt to zoom right in on that.
clap on the shoulder.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, buddies. I heard you need a place to stay, man.
Rory,
Yeah,
my
we
man. Dude, bro. That would be fantastic.
Dude, I got you covered, man. My buddy Benji's having a party. We can hang out at his place. Everybody's cool at Benji's, man.
Well, I guess we're going to Benji's.
This is where it's at. And he like,
It's all happening.
he leads you out.
Oh, trade you back hats.
Right, right.
So he leads you out. As you leave the bar, as you're leaving the bar, I need a. Hold on. I'm gonna need. This will be based on. Mental stuff's usually wisdom, right?
What are you trying to do?
Just pick the lowest
Wisdom.
one. You're just picking the
Okay.
lowest one that I
No,
have. Is that what you're
no.
doing?
His is.
Oh, there's intelligence.
No, I'm taking wisdom. Give me wisdom saves.
I think I know. what you're
How do you
trying
do a
to
save again? I forget.
If you're proficient in the specific saving throw, you get to add your proficiency.
But not the
bonus.
modifier for the.
No, you add both.
Okay.
If you're proficient. If you're not, you just add your modifier.
God, I'm just.
So that's
awful.
that's probably a pretty good roll.
I gotta
I get an 11.
Maybe you need
Okay.
a new die.
I'm thinking of-
11's not horrible. I mean. it's
All right.
the road.
Well,
So-
I'm hammered, so that's about right.
Yeah.
So as you
Thank you,
walk,
sir.
as you walk out, you feel like a brief wave of nausea, and then you feel a little more clear-headed
Okay.
than you were before. As you walk out, you feel a pretty fucking intense wave of just like, it's gonna happen. It's about to happen right now.
Are we on the street right now?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
thank
walked
God.
out.
You, the noise.
I'm just drooling, like, just drooling.
As his head goes down, I catch his hat and like.
I'm gonna need a Constitution save at disadvantage.
Oh, you have to roll 2 dice.
Need to roll
I'm
Take
two.
gonna
the
take the
lowest.
lowest. That's it. It's at 9.
9 plus though.
3 and 2. 5.
So
That's actually a 14.
14. That's pretty good, actually. So you are like on the ground. Yeah, like you said, you're drooling. The pre-drools. Oh, God. But you managed to
I
hold.
should never have dropped out of college.
You managed to hold it in though, and after a few minutes, you feel slightly less intoxicated than you were before. Your head clears
At
up
that
enough.
point, you just want to get rid of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you start thinking of like eggs and grits.
No, it went away. I feel better. It went away. It's definitely gone.
I'm past it.
I've got over it, I think. I just needed air.
Yeah. So Roderick starts leading you towards Benji's place. Will, you are at the college,
Yes.
and you have returned from your visit to the third pocket dimension of.
Yeah,
Doghouse.
that was not real enjoyable, but interesting, certainly.
An excellent attitude to have. It really is. It really is.
Okay.
Again, I predicted that you would react in such a way. Mathematically, there were no other options, obviously, based on the nature of our interactions. You understand. And so, what were you here for again?
Did somebody spike the water cooler with something around here?
What's a water cooler?
Dispenser of water. It's generally a bottle that flows down into a nozzle and you drink. What?
What kind?
Regular?
Mm.
H2O?
Alright. So I suppose we ought to get you matriculated?
That's what I'm here for.
Good. Then, you need to head to the registrar's office.
Alright.
Don't tell them you were here.
But you told me to. Yes. Professor?
Yes.
It's okay.
Did you have a chance to meet Lorelei? Most people do on their way here.
Is Lorelei?
She's got no eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Well, she starts taking notes. Does not have obvious brain damage.
Also, I met the a very angry old man who really fits a very storybook description of a wizard, if I'm honest about it. Who said people looking for you usually go to his office.
Yes, Benji. Rather interesting individual.
That's his name, Benji?
Benji. Yes, my younger brother.
Oh, younger. What? He had a full gray beard.
This is what happens when you experiment with temporal magic before you've been cleared.
Oh.
He's got a good long life ahead of him. Not quite the 1300 he was supposed to live to, but you gonna complain about 9? No, you're not.
No, of course not.
Exactly.
Awkward for you in real life too.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
It's easy to role play.
Please don't.
and where do you plan on staying?
Well,
I assume you've secured lodgings in the city. There are plenty of places to stay now that the subjects have been removed.
I have not. I was going to base that decision upon whether you require students to stay in dorms on campus or what the typical protocol for that was.
Most of our students show up with a physical pocket dimension, if not at least or if not a temporal one. You didn't come prepared with your own extra dimensional lodgings?
No, is that a commonplace thing in these parts?
Yes.
What is it, just a rope trick in a bag?
Some. I've never been fond of the rope trick space. It's a bit small, open floor plan. There's not a lot of actual individual rooms. I prefer my privacy. No, and Mordecai's mansion just tends to be too extravagant.
Wait a minute. What? You have mages here capable of casting Mordenkainen's mansion on a regular basis?
Yes, you go. Just sleep. Just sleep. You have to sleep somewhere.
Well,
Not
yes, but you're generally not in an extra-dimensional space with enough room for 100 people.
That's what I keep.
Requires an 8th level spell valence to even conjure.
Yes. Yes. Keep telling them it's unnecessary. They keep doing it. Boys. Yeah. So.
Did I go into the illusion college instead? I wish to study transmutation.
Yes. Yes. I understand. Turning one thing into another. For
Yes,
the
nothing
purposes-
here has made any sense. Is this just all a test? Am I supposed to call you out on your ridiculously convoluted transport system, your guards that don't seem to know anything, your extra-dimensional hallway leading to nowhere? Is this just an intelligence test? Is it a logic test? Because, frankly, it's grating and it's churlish. And I don't really appreciate it too much. None of this fits with my experience and definition of wizardry.
The pillows start sinking into the floor.
Shots fired.
And as she reaches low enough, her legs kick out, and she sort of, once they hit the floor in front of her, the pillows push her forward into a standing position. She approaches you with her arms behind her back. Mr. McAllen, what you need to understand is that the art of transmutation is one of imagination. It is one of imagining what the thing that you see could possibly be. Now, of course, you could turn a cup into a larger receptacle of water. You could turn a horse into a legendary beast, or you could perhaps imagine turning a simple ale that you receive from the bar into a world-ending crystal of immeasurable power. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Why would you listen to reason, Mr. McAllen? Reason limits. Reason is our enemy in this college, Mr. McAllen. Because what we do is unreasonable.
I've noticed, yes.
Good. We'll get you there yet, Mr. McAllen. It only takes 2 or 3 times in the third pocket dimension before the mind breaks completely. Only 2 more. Good day, Mr. McAllen. Good luck finding some place to stay.
Well, where do I? She's like, I assume, like ushering me out.
Yes, just kind of like pushing you out the
well,
door.
okay. Well, when do I get a class schedule? When when do I have to report? What's gonna happen with that?
Please speak to Benji. He is the keeper of calendars. It was the only job that we could give him that wouldn't be disastrous for the college.
All right.
Good.
Well, thank you, Professor. This was definitely enlightening.
Very good, Mr. McAllen. I shall be following you closely. Please don't look around corners. You might just find me.
Well, how do I get back to his office?
Nope. Just kind of pushes you out.
I'm gonna step into the hallway and just.
Process it
I'm
all.
just gonna step one door down and open the door on my left. Open it.
Just open it.
Yeah.
And there is Benji, bent over, like in the deepest squat you've ever seen.
I'm just gonna like let out a string of dwarven curses.
Just kind of pouring things.
Excuse me, Mr. Benji.
Yes, you can stay with me. It's fine.
No, I like girls. No, I was told that I'd come to you for my class schedule. Yes, sentient life forms generally need to breathe. I agree. Yes, your insight's wonderful. Is that how it goes here? Just flattery for insanity and...
Are you familiar with the concept of railroading, Mr. McAllen?
Railroading?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Don't
No,
worry about
no.
it. Just follow me back to my house, please.
Wow.
Ooh.
Screw you, dude.
There we
You
shall
lazy,
find.
you lazy son of a bitch. You couldn't think of one more like 30-second scene.
Where have you been? Where have you been? Think about the college that you're in.
All right, good point. Good
It's pretty
point.
complex.
Yeah, it goes to figure that they break the fourth wall as well as dimensional barriers. So,
Wow.
all right,
Let's put it down, bro.
all right. She said, "Open your mind." Lead on. Lead on.
As he's leading you to his house, he does explain that all the schedules are kept in a recording crystal at his house,
All right.
and he can't keep the recording crystal in the school
Okay.
because it has some rather raunchy recordings on it that shouldn't be connected to the
Right.
intercrystal recording network at the college.
Oh, I understand completely. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of CP.
Yeah. Yeah. Cuddly puppies.
Yes.
Chicken's preening.
Hairy, cuddly puppies.
Okay. All right. I'm just very shell shocked at that. So I'm okay. Yeah. Whatever you say, I'll follow you. Came to learn wizardry. I guess this is how you do it. Just being an insane person.
All right. So, it is approximately 9 in the evening. You were, you arrived somewhere towards the middle of the day. Took some time to get set up. Of course, your partying was actually in a temporally displaced place. You walk out, and it's much later than you thought it was. You thought you went in the middle of the day, but you come out, and it's like 9 o'clock at night, which you're not very familiar with.
No, it's very strange.
Yeah, like you walk out and it's dark.
I start seeing the constellations. Like,
Work now.
It's like being in a casino.
Yeah.
What?
You're following Benji, and he keeps like quizzing you about all kinds of arcane knowledge. Just keeps like throwing out questions randomly, and then if you get it right, he'll go quiet for like an unnecessary amount of time, and then
Oh,
he'll just,
thank God.
and then he'll just shout out another question at you once you let your guard down.
Wow. Guess I'm in. This is
Um,
an interesting teaching method.
and so you get there the earliest.
Okay.
You get there the earliest. The sun is just going down, and the area that you arrive in is sort of, in any other city, you'd describe it as fairly affluent. In comparison to the rest of this city, it's kind of pedestrian, kind of middle of the road. So yeah, there are nice homes with lands that sit separate enough that they're not butted up against each other. And the one that you are looking at from the directions that you got is sort of a low, flat structure with a dome in the middle, right? And so from the dome, there are a couple of different, there's like spires coming up from the flat area that just are kind of random heights and thicknesses, but it actually kind of works together. And there are bridges between the spires that look like they're way too small for people. And there are all sorts of sort of plants hanging down from the spires. It's an interesting architecture.
Did you guys just forget about the Georgies?
No, they're how far away from the building are we? Like, because I feel like
Are they gone?
God damn, I hope we didn't lose them. Go ahead, we'll address it.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
maybe they're at the party.
Maybe they're standing there in perfect attention in the stable.
Maybe they're at the party.
Where are they? I don't know. We better wait here.
So how are you going to approach the place? Or
You're here.
Well, I was looking for. I thought there was I'm just looking for something that's telling me that this is the place. So I'm gonna go up there and I guess just look around, knock on the door.
You get up to the front, and it's not super large door, but it's kind of like larger than what you would be used to for a normal sized person. And you knock. There's a knocker on it. And just a normal-looking human woman answers, and she says, "Hello. What can I do for you?"
Hi, I'm looking for Benji.
In what capacity?
There was an ad up in the Hunters Guild.
Oh. Okay. Well, Benji's got. As you are like sitting there, you keep seeing this person pass by the entrance to that sort of sitting area. You can't see their face. They're sort of covered in a large tattered robe that's like a dark purple, and they're carrying a staff that has like a bright light at the top. It seems to be some sort of lantern at the top of the staff. There's a bright light inside of it. They've got like all sorts of bags and packs and like belts strapping things onto them, and they just slowly walk past. And then you see maybe like every 45 seconds to a minute, they slowly walk past again. Give me a perception check.
At a half perception, that's all.
Then you add your
right?
wisdom.
Alright,
It's
so
a 6.
plus 2, and I'm proficient, so do I add that?
Mm-hmm.
So plus 2, so 10.
So 10. So you notice something kind of odd about like the way in which the person passes by each time. They never look over at you, and then you realize like they're always going in the same direction. It's just it seems like an endless stream of people and dressed exactly the same heading past you and out the door. So it's weird. So you're hanging out. You guys are walking with Roddy, and he's leading you towards the edges of the section of town where there's kind of like blocked off, because beyond that they're doing all sorts of renovations and stuff. And you arrive at the door of this house. It's a low structure, sort of a dome in the middle, strange like parapets and towers sticking up out of the flat part of the structure. They're different sizes, different heights, and they're like little bridge walkways between some of them that seem entirely too small for humans or any creature that might live in this city that you know of. Almost looks like a playhouse at the top. And yeah, Roddy's like, Benji's place. Look at those kick-ass turrets, man. Look at those shits. We're gonna climb them later. That's what they're there for. Benji had them built for climbing.
Climbing turrets.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Are we still drunk, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so
Well, you are.
less
A
so.
lot less.
He had like 2 drinks.
climbing turrets to
Roddy turns to you and he just kind of like pulls out a flask and he's like, "Hey, man, like, not to be a dick or anything, but you guard."
No.
Because if
Snatch
you-
it out of his hand. I'll do one of these numbers.
You just actually poured beer on yourself.
I did.
That was empty.
Good role playing.
classic RP.
Yeah.
Dude,
He's cool. You're cool, man. He's
Alright,
cool,
cool.
man.
I was worried about. I was worried about your friend. You just seemed like, kind of seemed like a
Nah,
dog.
he's cool. He's cool. You're cool too. You're cool,
Hard.
too, man. I like you.
I'm gonna take my hat off.
Head over his foot.
Yeah, the guy's good. He carries around a lampshade. It's awesome.
Well, you'd be more on your tiptoes 'cause he's like 7.5 feet tall.
Well, I'm also. Well, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 6'3".
Alright. Well, it doesn't look like Benji's home. You can always tell when Benji's home. So let's just like chill out. He's got this wicked room with all kinds of like leather chairs that feel really good, but like sitting on those things is
I really like things that are good on my butt.
hell yeah,
I
dude.
like it. Yes.
So he just kind of like
Shake my head at you.
Mhm.
opens up the front door and you see that foyer. and he leads you into this room. There's a bunch of leather chairs. On your way out, you pass this guy. You can see his face is kind of like a little green. It looks like he's a little sick. He's got like these long tattered robes. He's got a staff with a bright light at the top. He's just kind of like shuffling past with a 1,000-yard stare just out the door. Just passes by you. Passes through the door that he does not open. And just out. And as soon as you see like him pass through the door and you turn back to go towards the living space, you see like another one turn the corner and start shuffling down the hallway.
Same everything.
Say everything.
I'm gonna look at it with a little suspicion.
You gonna go investigate it?
No, I'm not gonna investigate it
Okay.
because I'm not going into some strange person's house looking around and shit. But I'm gonna notice that it's strange.
Alright.
Hey man, you can't walk in 2 places at once.
And it's gonna stop in front of you. It's gonna turn towards you. Kind of give you a confused look. And kind of like wheeze in your general direction.
I didn't mean. You do. You're good. You get me. I'm sorry.
And it's gonna.
I'm sure we're gonna do like a Day the Earth Stood Still or whatever that movie is, where he goes like.
So I'm trying to avoid that. Huh? I can't take it.
Yeah, it turns and starts walking back.
That was also terrifying. Good job.
That was really good.
Turns and starts walking towards the door again and again. As soon as he gets out the door, you see another one turn the corner.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What's going on here?
And when it reaches the area you stopped it before, it stops, turns to look in your direction, and it makes that sound again. And while you're still trying to figure it out, it sort of like nods in recognition, and then starts walking towards the door. And as soon as it gets out the door, another one comes by.
Alright, so on this next one, can I wait till it comes by me and just kind of kick my foot out? Just like not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to kick.
Give me an attack. Attack roll.
Attack roll?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. This is probably gonna be a bad idea. I rolled a 5. So it was like a claw.
So you like stick
Like
a
one of my
claw,
claws.
and it like stumbles over your foot, kind of looks back at you, and then continues out the door. And another one comes around the corner. So you're gonna keep hanging out with this dude, or you gonna go in the room?
Hold on.
No,
Wait,
whoa.
I'm gonna turn.
What is this?
I'm gonna turn to you. I'm gonna be like, just wait for it. I'll wait for the next one to come by and just be like,
All right. So you,
just turn around, don't look at him.
so it walks by. You put your hat on it.
Yeah.
It like looks at you, and you're not looking. And it turns, keeps walking, goes out the door, and then it turns around the corner. It's got your hat on.
Man, what in the world? Some weird shit going on here.
Alright.
Roderick, what in
Alright,
the
hold on,
world?
hold on, wait. No, don't even look at me. I'm gonna just put my hand on your shoulder and just whisper to you and be like, look, man,
Mm-hmm.
stand in front of the door and don't move.
Okay.
You got this. Like,
Yeah.
I believe in you.
No, I totally got it.
Alright.
10-4.
Alright.
You need to do something about those things, man. This keeps, like, do you see this? It's like
I'm sorry.
100 puncture wounds.
We got stigmata over here.
No,
Just 5 of them.
okay.
Okay.
Alright, shut. He's coming. He's coming.
All right. So you stand in front of the door, and so he walks forward, and he stops in front of you, and he like actually pulls his head up,
Got dust breeze on you.
Please don't do it with this.
She's just gonna do like that.
staring you in the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
And again, it
Here. No thanks. I'm sorry to ruin your.
Please don't
Hey, quit.
breathe in my mouth.
and it's gonna like at this point it's doing it nonstop. There doesn't seem to be any breathing. It's just constant hot air from this thing in your face.
Yo, you got the dragon, boy.
I'm gonna go ahead. Should I touch him? I'm gonna touch him.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna
Mush him.
palm his face and kind of like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a let's see, yeah. I'm
As
gonna
long
need
as it's
a
made up.
dexterity save.
Dex.
So it's just the roll of the dice.
What's going on, dude? My average is like that's a new die.
And that's a critical failure.
Let's just look
My
at
new
this
my
real
my
quick.
my average tonight's like a 3.
Yeah, it is. Critical failure.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. I'm hammered drunk.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm talking you into doing this shit because I think it's hilarious.
So you face palmed him?
I did the old face palm
Trying to
like
mush it.
it was just
Like
way
a-
too hot. It was way in my mouth.
So
Justified.
immediately upon having the hand hit his face, it's just gonna and you've never experienced localized aging before, but you have now. And your hand starts to decay rapidly.
Oh, my hand. Oh.
I'm gonna grab him by his forearm and try to yank it away.
Give me a strength.
Yeah, that I got. Let's see, it's a 12 plus 6 is 18.
So yeah, you manage to like rip his hand away. Except
Is it not bad? Is it bad?
P.S. His hand is still in that thing's hand.
Oh, it kind of
Wait, what?
feels tingly.
As in, you pulled away.
Oh,
It came
like
away.
a stump? Like pulled a
They
stump
pull a
away?
stump away?
Yeah, you pulled the stump away.
I'm so sorry.
Does it look bad?
Oh, no. No. Can I look around for like a source of fire, like a fireplace? Is there a fireplace
In the
lit?
room that you had been led to by Roddy, who's sitting in the background like, oh shit.
I've never seen that.
Nobody's ever touched him before. We just let him go about his business.
I'm gonna like
I feel floaty.
pull him over the fireplace.
Yeah, there's a fireplace in that
Is
room.
it like a bleeding stump or what does it look like?
It's like all necrotic and like pussy at the end.
Oh.
And I'm gonna take a burning ember.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
Oh man. Ouch.
One more Constitution saving throw, please. With disadvantage.
Just because, like, I
well,
know this is
the
something
end
you
of
have to do.
This is the end of Moralist.
Hold on, you use use the shitty yellow one and then the one you just rolled terribly on.
Are you sure?
And promise me it'll be
What's
okay.
the,
See? Told you.
Oh,
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
What's
11. What was I doing?
This is not
Constitution.
horrible.
Constitution is plus-
inspiration or
You
whatever
have,
die
you
that
have
Dave gave us?
inspiration.
Inspiration is you can
Yeah.
get advantage on any roll, I think. Or is it-
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you have an inspiration die. Which means you could cancel out your disadvantage.
I mean,
or
11 plus 5.
Yeah, but you
Take
already
the
got
middle
it.
with that, yeah.
So yeah, so you like your pain tolerance is through the fucking roof. Like it's bad, and you feel a wave of nausea, and you feel like oh here's the one, but it still manages to stay down.
That's amazing. How you do it, bro?
Yeah, you have a cauterized stump.
Wow.
Oh man, that really hurts.
And you see this going on in front of you because they've just
Not
entered the room
again.
that you were waiting in. You see,
Him like kick the door in like get out of the way.
well, no, it's an open hallway, so she saw them messing
Yeah.
with the guy
Oh.
and saw the hand get ripped away.
Hey. What happened to what?
Are you immediately sober now?
What is this?
You
When
touched,
did you get here?
You touched the guy.
That guy.
Oh.
It was that guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got a TTD, man.
Yeah.
A touching transfer.
Total tiny dick.
Well,
And that too.
where's Benji at? That does- I've been hearing a lot about this guy. Do you think he's got any more than drinks?
Funny you should ask, because at that very moment, up strolls the wild-looking, old man-looking Benji. What's the last name of the artificer? High
What?
Artificer, what's her name?
Alara.
Yeah.
Well, transmographer.
High Transmographer.
Yes, necromancer. Yes.
No, that's a totally different branch of that.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. You should.
So yeah, you see Benji come around the corner with Garrick, or rather come through the door with Garrick, and you see Benji as again one of these guys is coming down. Benji just like walks by casually, and you see the thing. And they hold hands for a minute, and Benji becomes probably about 21, 22 years old, fairly rugged looking dude.
When he looked like an old wizard, like stereotype until that point.
He looked like an old wizard stereotype until that
I
point.
could.
Is there are there like those Mister sprayers that like places use on hot days, like full of LSD in the city? Like what's going on?
I don't know, but I'm into it.
Yeah, never want to leave.
So you arrive and you're sitting on the couch. They're kind
We're
of
knelt down in front of a
They kind of
fireplace.
knelt down in front of the fireplace. You've come through the door and you're standing in the doorway now, and there's high fives going on. When you hear a sort of raid siren go up throughout the house, and just a bunch of things come running down into the room
Extremely dissonant
from
harmony.
stairs, and there's everything. Any race you can think of, and a couple you probably never imagined, just come running into the room, and Benji's like, and Roddy looks at you and he's like, and the front door opens and folds outwards so that the entire front of the house is exposed, and you just see a bunch of other wild pack of mages and wizards. And for the first time, you notice that everybody at Benji's house is wearing a sort of a similarly colored gold robe. And you notice there's a patch on the front, sort of a coat of arms. And you see that all the others on the other side are also wearing robes. These of like a blood red with the patch on the robes.
It's a fucking dance party.
And you
Dance
see
Stomp the yard.
Yeah.
you see an individual standing at the front. It's a large suit of armor.
Oh.
And it's got a cloak on.
Tell me stuff like what?
It's got bright green glowing eyes, and it's carrying a rather large sword. And at the front, you hear a fairly mechanical voice that screams out, Benji, of the Transmutation College, you have been called out by the College of Illusions. We battle...
Okay. Keep going.
Naturally. Yeah.
Transmutation College, are you prepared to take it to the streets?
Breaking. Got it.
Is there an electric boogaloo about that?
And you see like this sort of half goblin, half human individual that has a backpack on, pulls it to the front, opens it up, pulls out a rat, and just hucks it at the house. So, I'm gonna need initiative rolls from everyone, including
Is that a D20? I rolled D20.
Roll a D20 and add your dex mod. Oops. 17 for me.
13 for
So if you have dexterity, you add your proficiency as well?
No,
No, this is not a
No.
pro.
just your dex mod.
I got 14.
18.
Right, so I add the +2.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got something over 5.
Your phone's like freaking out.
It's doing it again.
Oh, is it really doing this thing?
Yeah. All right. So sorry, Morlus, you got a
18.
Garrett,
17.
Alicon.
14.
13.
Wow, it's right in order. Wow, isn't that convenient? Don't roll your eyes at me, you fuck.
Oh, so in the camera, Will, there's like
Oh yeah, you have to
a
go.
glare where he's at, and when
Yeah.
he went to grab his bottle, it like
It's quite amazing. It's like it's a mirror realm over there.
yeah, you can't really see
Which is
what
kind of
you're
perfect because
doing.
it's magical and shit.
Yeah, you can't see
Ooh,
what
everybody
you're doing,
even
but it's
everybody over
like,
here has goatees, even over
Yeah.
their beard.
It's almost like translucent looking,
Oh, that's funny.
like you're reflecting into the mat.
Oh yeah.
All right. So the small half goblin, half human takes the rat out of the bag, tucks it into the center of the
Rats.
foyer area, and the rat kind of like drops, and it appeared to like flop as if it actually didn't have any life. But as soon as it stops like moving forward, it just kind of like hops up on its feet, and you see it's like freaking out, like buggy eyes for a rat, and just kind of like looking around, trying to figure out where it's gonna go. All right, so top of the order, Stu. What are you gonna do?
But do you all see my hand?
All right, Moralis's hand. That's right. He's down one hand right now.
I'm gonna take like 2 seconds to realize what's going on because obviously I'm still like comprehending a little slow. I'll jump back. You know, oh! How big is this thing?
The rat
Yeah.
is probably about 2 or 3 feet long.
Definitely gonna try to kick it one time.
All right.
Like just one swift like soccer kick.
So move your guy up to the rat. That's your move action. Yep, right there.
Yep.
All right, and then so you attack it. You
Attack.
try and kick it.
Kick. Got it. Okay.
Roll a d20. And you had your dex mod and your strength mod rather, and your proficiency bonus.
So -1.
So he
So-
rolled a 9.
Wait, what?
You had your
Oh, the bonus? Okay.
Yeah.
I see what
You were able to kick stuff.
Yeah, so that rat just kind of like sees your kick coming, and it just like scurries around in place and just kind of like moves around where your foot's at, and it's like just kind of like running around in circles trying to get like it's trying to get away from you, but at the same time every time it turns it sees one of these other guys in gold cloaks and it just doesn't know where to go, but it avoids your kick.
Right.
All right. Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
I'm gonna like consciously give up in the middle of the kick and just like kind of go down to like almost conserving energy. Like I follow through and I was like, and it's just too much energy to stop me. So I just fall down and roll around a little bit, like almost like you know when you're sobering up and you're just you're not quite there, but you're just almost the pain is starting to set in.
I got you. All right. Garrick.
I'm gonna ask Benji, what's going on? Why did they just throw a giant rat at us?
Dude, it's Saturday.
How in any possible way would you think that answers my question?
Every Saturday. Rival colleges. We throw down, man. It's for pride.
What do you
Tradition.
mean, throw down?
Means we gotta whoop their asses to prove our magic is better, man.
We whoop their asses?
Yeah.
Really? So we have to fight all those wizards out there.
Yeah. And he like points back at all the other gold cloaks that are around. It's like you're joining up, right, man?
I suppose so.
You can get in on the action.
I'm gonna cast sleep into the ball of crimson cloaked wizard. Were they crimson cloaked?
Yes, they had like blood red cloaks.
Okay, well, I'm going to pretend that I know what sleep does, and then actually look it up and find out.
Yeah, right?
It's like a lot of dice, I think.
It's some number of D8.
It is a very high number of D8s. 5 D8s. I need to borrow some D8s, people. Fork them over.
Fork them over.
Yeah, I
Fork
got
them
one
over.
here.
Fork them over.
You can't have any in mine.
That's a D10.
Was it? Okay. I don't know what
Just
the-
use it.
I don't know what the difference is to these.
Yeah, yes, that's what I need. Here we go. Oh! Oh, there's a 1. It's like there's 2 8s. So I rolled a 24.
We get all this?
24
Yes. So
right.
24 hit points
worth of...
of creatures in this area are affected by sleep.
Okay. So, as of right now...
It seems like the party is affecting my sleep too.
Surrounding, there are a number of gold cloaks who are just kind of around and acting tough. And these two just drop.
I'm gonna remember my dwarven combat training and roll over this way and grab cover around like the door jam.
Well, the whole front of the wall is
This
gone.
is all open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, well, then
behind
I'm
the
gonna dive
table.
behind this desk right here.
Okay. Yeah, the whole wall like rolled back
Oh,
when
God,
the challenge
okay.
was issued.
All right, so that's my turn.
All right. This guy, Ratman, what he is going to do is he is going to first
Use bite. Ratty, use bite.
Radicate, use Hyperfang.
So this rat looks like it's in an extreme state of panic. It is under duress, and the rat
Wow.
the rat is going to finally it's going to stare up at Morlus, who's kind of like laying next to him. But the rolling seems to still continue to make it feel very upset, and its eyes are going to go blank white
Oh.
before it splits into 4 separate rats of the same size.
Boy, I sure didn't need to ever see that in my life.
And they just kind of like crawl out of each other. Like the first one crawls out of the first mouth.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
And the second one, simultaneously, one comes out of its rectum and
So
one
it's like
comes
a
out of its
reverse
mouth.
human centipede.
Yeah. Just kind of like
Rat
crawl
centipede.
out of each other.
Ah! Monsters!
All right.
I can't wait to throw this.
This one's going to run after here. This one's going to run over here. And these two are already going to
gonna
be
nibble on your
nibble
prone.
on your prone form.
Okay.
Wait, when did you fall down? I missed
I
that.
fall through on a kick and I just...
You know they have advantage to hit you now, right?
I whiffed it. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So they are going. 2 of them are going to attack Moralist. Wow. Wow.
Oh man, I'm dead.
I'm gonna chew your face off.
So does a.
Face off.
I'm assuming a 24 hits against your armor.
Probably hits.
It's a 12.
Yeah. and a 19 hits against your armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these two take a nibble out of you, and you take 1 damage apiece for a total of 2 damage.
Uh-oh.
Am I doing this right?
All right. So the next thing that I need is for
What about the other
Ali Khan.
rats?
Yeah, Ali Khan is going to be attacked by a rat. 14 against your armor,
My armor class is 16.
so that one's going to miss you, and 1 against Gary. So 19 against your armor.
19 does hit.
All right, so this one's going to kind of like nip at your heels, and you take 1 point of damage.
All right. That's infuriating.
All right, Haturo, it is your turn.
Oh yeah. All right. I'm gonna unsheath my sword as a free action. Let's see. I got a move of 30. So 5, 10, 15. So I'm gonna make it right to here, and I'm going to attack that rat two-handed.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
That one's mine. Get out of here with that.
That's a bad one. That's the one that's rolling 2s.
No, it's fine.
Oh wait, this one's mine.
This is mine.
Ooh, I think that's a hit. 16 plus 4 plus 2.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
That'll do.
roll your
So
damage.
I do 1d10.
What are you using?
My sword, but two-handed.
Ah, gotcha.
I do 4 points of damage.
All right.
Because I don't add anything else to that, right?
So yeah, this one is going to.
No, yes, you do. You add your strength bonus to that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
So as you swing
Okay.
through it, it explodes into mist.
Yeah, I thought might.
All right. Next up is Ali Khan.
There's a rat nipping at you.
I'm gonna take out my 2 short swords and use my. I took the 2 weapon thing.
Mm-hmm.
With add ability 2-second attack. So I'm gonna do that. But I don't know how. What do I need to do?
So
to
you
do that?
roll d20 twice.
So it's like doing an advantage,
Oh, okay.
right?
No, you roll a d20 and it's just your offhand attack and your main hand attack are exact same thing.
Okay, so an 8, and then what do I add to it?
Your dexterity.
And your proficiency.
So 12.
12 will miss.
Okay. And then again?
Mm-hmm. For your offhand.
Oh god,
That's gonna miss.
yeah, miss.
All right. So you kind of take a swing at the rat in front of you, and it just kind of like, again, squeaking and dancing around like, no. All right. Up next is going to be Benji.
Do we have a
I
Benji?
didn't have a Benji. I'm gonna grab a Benji.
We need a Benji.
How many? What's a 5-foot radius look like?
Just square.
Square, a 5-foot radius, so whatever square you're on, it's one square. It's like a 3x3 grid.
That's
So,
Benji.
This
Yeah.
little, okay.
Yeah.
So Benji's standing
Yeah, so one of your bombs is like,
So if I did that on myself, I would die.
up at the front,
not necessarily.
Would get little fire. Pretty good.
and so
Stop,
Benji
drop, and roll.
is going to.
Like right here would be a pretty good spot.
Yeah, but
Okay.
having a serious advantage is already dropping and rolling.
All right. So Benji's gonna hold his hands
always
out in
get
front of him.
I should do that.
He's gonna kind of have like one hand, back hand on his
There's another
head,
beard,
like
by the
he's
way.
really
Thank you.
concentrating, and the other held out, and he's kind of like moving his fingers and concentrating. And you're gonna see after a short period of time, a blue glow envelops his entire body, and a red glow envelops the body of the suit of armor that's standing there with its billowing cloak and its glowing green eyes.
Alphonse Elric.
And he starts yelling, just raw power erupting from his body as streams of light come out of his eyes. And suddenly,
That's this one.
you hear a loud boom as they swap places.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Wow.
That's a great move.
All right. However, immediately after that happens, this dude is going
thanks.
to roll up.
Where's your D8 spell?
On
he can
Haturo.
try.
He's gonna roll up on Haturo. All right. So
Haturo.
the thing that this is going to do is, yeah, that's right. It is going to swing at Haturo.
All right.
And its sword. What's that? A 6? 6 plus 6. 12.
Oh, miss. You
All
ripped
right.
it.
And so it's going to bring its sword down overhand. It's going to bury that sword into the ground. It's going to let go of the hilt, and it's going to bring both of its fists together in a backhanded swing to try and hit you.
Okay.
And 11 will surely miss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you just kind of like, and it's
Do a little
just kind of
dodge.
swinging up, and it's going to miss you with both of its attacks. Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Next up.
Throw a fireball at for
Wow, that's a really unfortunate
How far,
roll
what's the
set.
range?
30.
30 is 6 squares.
So right after he swings and misses you horribly,
Yeah.
right? What ends up
Well, those guys
happening
are asleep. You don't
is
want to damage them.
I can't. I mean,
the cloak actually looks kind of familiar to you,
The
and
Crimson Cloak.
while you're, well, like the design of it, and while you're watching him miss with both of his attacks and his swing, you see from the corner of your eye a shadowy tendril swoop out from inside of the cloak.
Oh.
Son of a bee.
son of a bitch.
Does it have a drink?
No, but it is
A
going
drink of poison.
Are we playing Super Joe?
So 11 will miss you.
Yeah.
This is kind of super jail.
So you're gonna see the shadow kind of whip out and attempt to wrap around you,
Uh-huh.
but you just kind of flex once and it just kind of shreds into shadowy mist. All right, and finally, because again these rolls are kind of stupid. I need you to give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, fuck. Roll high, roll high.
Oh.
I rolled a 0, exactly.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to
All
the
right.
world.
So
Of course, this is my shittiest thing.
you sort of
I view this hand too.
find yourself drawn.
Uh-huh.
You find yourself drawn into the eyes of the suit of armor, and you cannot look away.
So,
Like so, mechanically speaking, you can't move away from him. All right, we're back around to Morlus.
I'm gonna attempt a super, like one of like the push-ups like off the ground, like
Mhm.
one of those cool things. Totally like just botch it and just roll to my side. And
Like
pop
you,
up.
like you
Okay,
flop
you're
like a
gonna- you're gonna
fish.
Put pressure on your recently made stump.
Meh.
Oh yeah, you got. Hey,
And then just-
tuck your sleeve, by the way. Tuck
Yeah.
your hand in. There you go.
and then lose all my balance and just roll this way, and just to my knees, and then try to stand up, get to my
Alright.
feet, get to a better, more balanced like position on my
Okay.
feet.
Are you gonna attack the rat, or are you just
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
let-
gonna attack the I'm gonna go with. I guess I'll pull my. Can I pull my javelin and do a stab?
Sure. It's gonna be a one-handed stab.
Is it?
It's so javelin-y.
I'm gonna reach for my javelin and best I can whip it around in my hand and come down with my whole body on her.
All right.
I forgot you had
Give
a
me
javelin.
It was just
Roll a d20.
Or the d20 and then add
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit.
That's an
Yeah.
18.
So then roll your damage.
This one.
D6.
Oh yeah.
And you.
Y'all are so lucky.
Is javelin a versatile weapon?
I believe javelin's I know it's versatile. I don't know if
Or
it's
not versatile, but
finesse.
finesse. Let's see.
I mean, you could look it up right there.
I have all this too.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What do you need from me?
It is. No, it is not finesse.
It's a dex weapon, strength weapon.
It's a strength weapon. Yeah.
All right, so it
So-
can't do less than 1 damage. So you whip it forward. Actually,
Fist bump.
No.
Oh God, more or less.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got you.
so you whip it forward, and like you stab the rat, and the rat looks more annoyed than anything else. You catch it in the mouth, and like you pin its tongue into its jaw, but it's still squeaking like head down on the edge of your on the end of your javelin.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
All right,
Close enough.
Garrick.
All right, balls to this. I'm gonna cast magic missile on each of these 3 rats,
Okay.
and I'm gonna roll a 4, a 3, and a 4.
All right. So these two are gonna poof into mist upon being struck by the arcane magics,
Good thing I did anything at all. Thanks, bud.
and then yeah. So the last one.
Did these guys never do anything?
No, they didn't.
Or are they
just a
scrapping with
posse.
the gold cloaks?
They're pretty much locked into
Yeah.
combat with the gold cloaks.
Right.
Roddy is in the center of them with his sword aflame, and his cloak with its gold is like erupted into golden flames, and he's just kind of like cleaving his way through them.
Just airbending.
Well, then I'm gonna like tuck and roll back to this chair and move within the cover.
Okay.
AKA behind everybody else.
Yeah,
But
Arturo.
It's a viable tactic.
Or no, that
Oh.
rat.
Arturo's more suited for combat than I am.
So this rat is in under obvious duress, having been attacked,
No.
and its eyes. Are
Oh,
going
why didn't I roll one higher?
Its eyes are going to glow white, and it's gonna look up at Ali Khan and then split into 4.
yeah, you bitch. You got bitch.
One of them.
Oh, that sucks. Like a lot.
So, one of them is going to attack Garrick for 24
Yeah, that'll hit.
and do 1 point of damage, piercing. One of them's going to attack Ali Khan. 16.
Mine's 16.
Taz
So
gets the
that's gonna
attacker.
hit. Yes.
You take 1 point of damage. One of them is going to
Point
attack.
of the damage.
And then 2 of them are going to attack Turo. For
Yeah.
24 and 13.
So just one.
So one of them, 1 point of damage. And then it is Haturo's turn.
Oh yeah. All right. That was amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and attack this dude.
Okay.
Cut him down.
That's right.
Roll a d20.
Yeah. Let's see.
21.
21.
Yeah. 21 will hit for how much damage?
1d10. That's a d10. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
8
And you
Plus
were
strength.
plus strength. Wow. Okay. 12 damage.
Yeah.
and you were attacking the suit of armor?
Yeah.
All right.
Ouch. That's a hurdy strike.
Yeah, that's a pretty rough strike.
I also have a free action, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have unlimited free actions, but you can also take a bonus action.
Can I do that? In that?
Lightning breath with your bonus action?
I think
It's an
I think
action.
it's an action.
Is it an
yeah.
action?
Yeah, it's an action.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not moving. Can I use it as my move?
No.
No.
So it's just, yeah, okay. I'll do it later.
All right. So next up is Ali Khan.
Well, I'm gonna do this 2 swords
All right.
again.
Stabberino.
Roll up your attacks.
I can't roll.
Yeah, it's gonna miss.
That's a 9, but I don't know. I forgot what I added.
9 plus what?
4.
Yeah,
That's what
it's
she
right
added
here.
before.
Oh, okay.
13. That'll hit.
On the right. Okay.
No, it's 6 plus 4.
Yeah, I thought that was a 6.
Oh, 6 plus 4. Never mind.
My bad.
And you roll another one.
What was that one?
I can't roll.
Whoa!
All right.
Freaked out by the rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I would be freaked out too if it was like
Yeah.
All
It
right.
did just like split in the form for me.
like a horror of Zeech.
So, again, Benji is back there just like throwing magic willy nilly. His sword keeps switching between fire and lightning and ice. He's
Is
just-
he like cutting people down with it?
Yeah.
Like,
Are people dying in his
are
house?
they dying? Like, is blood like coming out of their wounds?
They are not getting up. That's for sure.
Uh,
And there are moans of the wounded.
Jesus.
This is some pep rally.
Yeah.
All right, and then this guy is going to 15 on Haturo.
That's why
a what?
Hufflepuffs don't
15?
attack
Miss.
Slytherins.
Okay, that was his
I said
sword
that's why Hufflepuffs
with
don't attack
his
Slytherin.
Yeah.
with his fists. 24.
That's a hit.
All right, that is
You made some contact.
for 10 damage. Whew, boy.
That's
What are you doing, dude? You're rolling
Whoa,
out your mind
what?
right now.
What do you subtract from damage?
Your HP. Hit points.
6, 7, 8, 9.
All right.
Oh, okay. Well,
So you guys are just like trading like ridiculous blows back and
Yeah.
forth.
That was a monster. That was
And then his cloak is going to shoot out at Moralist and attempt to drag him in.
not a chance.
Ooh.
10.
For what?
Against your
Let's see,
armor.
12.
Yeah, so the cloak is again gonna like try and wrap around you, but for some reason, like on contact with you, it just starts to dissipate and like fizzles out into black smoke.
10-4. Got it.
All right, and then charisma save.
Charisma save. Okay. That is a 12.
You're going to take on your next turn. You're attracted to the eyes of the suit of armor. On your next turn, you have to try and get closer to it.
Okay.
All right.
This is pseudo armor. Where's pseudo armor?
right here.
Okay.
Next up is Morless.
I am. Now, does it seem like this situation's under control?
Yeah.
Like
He's kind of
whoop-
slaughtering
He's like
all those dudes
just
over there.
levitating and just murdering people.
Yeah.
So this is our main target here. It's like
You got rats and you got a suit of armor.
well,
You got this. Just do it.
I'm gonna throw a fireball. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely can.
I'm gonna aim away from my what
So,
I what
you can
now
probably-
It's a firebolt, right?
It's the
It's a
alchemy fire.
yeah, alchemist.
Oh, alchemist
A
fire.
chemical fire.
Oh yeah.
so you probably drop it like here and
Yeah,
not
that's
hit any
kind
of
of what
us.
I'm looking for.
So that'll hit 3 rats if you drop it
Yes,
there.
it will.
Or if I put it back here, I can hit a rat and hit this guy a few times.
Well,
Yeah.
once. If he fails his dexterity save.
You could totally do that though.
Okay, well then I'm gonna go here and hit the 3 rats.
All right. So you toss your alchemist fire. Again, is alchemist fire? It's just a save.
It's a save or take damage, so it's not even half.
Okay.
It's a dex save,
So,
and they take d6 damage. If
okay.
they fail.
So 3 rats.
Oh, you could totally wipe them all in one go.
Well, I'm going to. It's gonna happen. But I only have one hand.
Yeah.
I thought rats would be more agile.
Guess not. Guess they're fucking rats.
That's a failure. That's a pass. And that's a failure. So, two of the rats-
one!
You roll a d6 for damage.
Yeah, roll a d6 for damage, see how much they take.
I mean, it's not bad.
One's wounded.
That's half.
It's half, but it's the wrong side of half.
So the one rat that you failed to kill before that split actually puffs into non-existence.
Nice.
The other, these 2 rats are now heavily wounded, and they look to be trying to crawl away. We move to Garrick.
All right. So I have to move towards the suit of armor, but in order to get to him, I'm gonna bash this rat with my quarterstaff first.
Okay. Rat bashing.
Let's see. That's
Rat
a
bastard.
11. That's gonna miss. Okay. Well, I guess then I will have to move towards this guy.
Yep. Which means that
Oh.
you're gonna take 1 damage.
All right.
All right.
When you so
Rat
as a learning experience, when you are in combat with something like base to base, if you move away from them without disengaging first, they can
Make an attack up.
They can make an attack of opportunity on you, which means they get to attack you.
And that was the rat in that situation?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I was compelled to move towards the suit of armor, I had to take the attack.
And then he just rolled for the attack and...
Yeah.
And bit me.
and
It
hit
was a free attack.
Okay.
free
The
attack.
rat bit my foot when I was running away.
A one...
However, if you disengage, then you could run away freely and they wouldn't get take the action.
What's disengaging?
Right?
Correct. Disengage is an action you can take, which is like all it does is move you a 5-foot square away from combat, and then you can move.
Really quick, can
And
you
you
tell me
can't do
how
that, like...
the turn
couldn't do
works?
that.
No,
Like,
yeah,
to
I
get,
could have,
But...
like,
but I
You
wanted
get
to
one
just try to
major
hit the
action.
rat.
Which is like attack or cast a
Okay.
spell or something. You get a bonus action, which there are lots of different things you can do with bonus actions.
like if I want to move, what's that?
And
Movement is a move action. It's
then move is
completely
Yeah.
separate.
it's like
Okay.
3 actions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. And that actually brings us to the rats. So they are going to bite. One is going to bite Alakan
So it's gonna come to me.
and miss. Yeah, that one right there. It's going to try and get you and miss horribly. One is going to bite at Haturo.
Mm-hmm. That's a hit.
That's a hit, so you can take 1 damage.
Okay.
And one is going to bite at Garrick and crit you for a grand total of 2 damage.
Just got critted, bruh.
I did. Oh man,
You got crit by a rat and took,
That's-
took 2 damage.
that's too much.
All right,
I got 2
Haturo,
damage
it's your
too by the
turn.
rats.
All right.
Because I was laying down there.
Here's what's gonna happen. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do second wind. It's a bonus action.
Mhm.
I recover 1d10 plus my fight level of HP.
Okay,
So D10 plus 2.
probably smart.
That's 8. That's like 8 points back.
Good. Yeah. Is that a bonus action?
Yep.
Nice.
That's pretty dope.
4, 5.
What's that?
6,
How's he
7,
doing that?
8.
Because he's a second level fighter.
Okay.
That's a once per.
Now I'm gonna make
then you can
my
take a long rest.
attack with my sword, 2-handed.
Next session, probably.
7 plus. Oh, what is it? Oh,
Plus 4 plus 2.
Yeah.
So 13.
13.
13 will hit.
Okay. And then here's my d10 because I'm 2-handed here. 5 plus 4.
So 9 damage.
Yep.
Or was that a rat or the main dude?
The main dude.
All right.
And now I'm going to use action surge.
There
Alright.
you go.
Action
I get
surge.
plus 1 action on top of my regular and bonus action.
Yep.
So I will use my lightning breath on that motherfucker. So you gotta take a dex save.
Dex save. What's the save DC?
Can I see the-
It's based on its con.
Sorry.
It's 8 plus con plus proficiency.
Yes, that sounds right.
It is
Dex. Nice.
right.
Repeating, of course.
Gets an 8, 9.
No, that's not gonna do it.
Yeah, that's gonna fail. So how much damage is it?
2d6.
All right, roll up your 2d6, dude.
And on failed
So you just
save,
like shot a lightning bolt out of your mouth.
take half. Yeah.
Awesome.
Alright, so I need another.
Awesome.
And let
Who's
me
got
check
a
something
d10?
just
Or
to be
It's
sure.
D6.
A 6. I'm okay with 6.
Well, so you just shot lightning at a
Right in its face, because I'm staring right at it.
suit of armor
Oh Lord.
and he
Did I ever charge him?
With your logic, you know,
you
always
see
with the
just kind of
logic.
like you see like the whole suit of armor just kind of like twitching, and suddenly you just kind of hear like gears and just slows down and it just stops moving.
Yeah, nice one.
Can I use a free action to just kind of push it over?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As it goes over, the cloak whips out from behind it and just like materializes into the bartender
Yeah.
from earlier. And he's gonna get, and you just kind of see him put his hands up and start backing up.
He just got off the ship.
We got your leader. We got your leader.
You also see the emerald lights of its eyes kind of like start to move forward out of its sockets, and those also rise up into eyes. And surrounding it, you just see like a wind, and the jewels are in the sockets of where the eyes of this wind creature would be, and it just kind of also just kind of shuffles off like, all right.
Wow.
Until finally they all head back to where Roddy is. They all head back to where Roddy is. And he's just finished cleaning up, and he's going past all of the individuals who are moaning. He's just driving his sword down through their throats, like,
Wow.
just taking them out one by one by one.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty extreme interdisciplinary rivalry there.
It's gonna go, that's the way it is, bro. You don't mess with school of transmutation. You're part of that now.
Oh
And you just see him.
So did I kill these? What happened?
So you just hear, so, Ali Khan, you're just kind of, you've been like hanging back, dealing with these rats a little bit, but you just kind of like are looking around at your compatriots, and you start kind of like calling out to them, and you guys, you hear, Garrett, Morris, Garrett, Arturo, come on.
What?
Garrett! You feel like kind of slapping across your face as you stand here. And slowly you can see these guys kind of like melt into the ground. Just melting slowly. Even Roddy, who becomes like a pile of golden flame on the ground, that slowly starts to morph up
Standard acid trip.
into the shape of a face, into the shape of Ali Khan's face. And you're like, 1 second you're standing there watching this face, and the next you blink, and Ali Khan's standing in front of you, and you're on Benji's couch. And Roderick's standing kind of in the background, looking pretty rough. And there's a large selection of nobles around you. Another time, and you blink another. You're sitting in the woods, and Ali Khan's in front of you, sort of snapping her fingers and trying to get everybody's attention. Roll a nature check for me.
Mine's one right now.
What's that for? Int.
Int plus your proficiency, because are you?
I'm not proficient.
You're not proficient? Okay.
No. So 5.
5?
I can't roll tonight.
So you kind of like look around. You're still so confused, and they're just like a bit loopy. You're just kind of like staring around at the woods in front of you until you finally. It takes a while, and you're still kind of slapping people around. You finally pick up a large white flower. And you sniff at it, take a bite of it. You turn to the rest and you go, did you drink the water in these flowers?
Son of a bitch.
And we'll pick up from there next time.
Oh my god.
Kill somebody. Wait a minute.
Wait, yeah.
Did we meet the Georgies
No,
already?
we haven't met the Georgies yet. Oh.
I'm out.
I want him.